Are diplomats and embassy staff exempt from the London congestion charge? No, says the British Foreign Office, and lists the additional demands in detail. Because foreign diplomats owe the City of London a total of more than £145 million in congestion charges. That was announced by the British government recently. Accordingly, there is no legal reason for diplomatic missions and international organizations to be exempt from the so-called congestion charge. As Foreign Office State Secretary David Rutley writes in his written statement to Parliament, the obligation to pay the congestion charge also exists under international law. However, the diplomatic missions apparently assume that they are exempt from this fee. The congestion charge has been in effect in the centre of the British capital since 2003. Every vehicle travelling in the city centre area around Parliament, the British Museum and Trafalgar Square during peak hours must pay £15 per day. According to the British government, the US Embassy alone has had unpaid bills totalling £14.64 million since the congestion charge was introduced in 2003. Japan follows with just over 10 million, then the High Commissioner to India with 8.5 million. The German embassy is in 11th place on the list with £4.63 million. Authorities around the world, especially in capitals, criticize the fact that diplomats and embassy staff do not pay their fines for illegal parking and other offensive, and in doing so take advantage of the fact that they cannot be prosecuted because of their immunity. Here in Germany, in Berlin too, thousands of traffic violations cannot be prosecuted every year. Diplomats enjoy a number of privileges and immunities in their host countries, which are designed to allow them to carry out their duties without interference, but they are not limitless. But those privileges include personal inviolability. Diplomats cannot be arrested or detained without the consent of their sending country. And they have immunity from criminal jurisdiction. Diplomats cannot be prosecuted in the courts of the host country. And they also have immunity from civil jurisdiction. Diplomats cannot be sued in the courts of the host country except in certain limited circumstances, such as traffic accidents or property disputes. And there's the inviolability of premises. Diplomatic missions and the private residences of diplomats are inviolable, meaning that the host country cannot enter them without permission. And there's the freedom of movement. Diplomats are free to move around the host country without restriction. And these privileges and immunities are not absolute, and there are a number of exceptions. For example, diplomats can be declared persona non grata and be expelled from the host country for serious misconduct. Additionally, if a diplomat commits a crime, the sending country may waive their immunity, allowing them to be prosecuted in the host country, but it's not very probable. But can diplomats violate the law unpunished then? Technically, yes. Diplomats can violate the law unpunished, at least in the sense that they cannot be arrested or prosecuted by the host country without the consent of their sending country. However, there are a number of consequences that diplomats may face if they violate the law. And I already talked about the expulsion. The host country can declare this diplomat a persona non grata and expel them from the country. And this can be a major setback for a diplomat's career. But damage to the relations between the two countries can happen as well. A diplomat's violation of the law can damage relations between the two countries, which can have a negative impact on trade, diplomacy, and other areas. And it can damage the diplomat's reputation. A diplomat who violates the law will likely damage their reputation, making it more difficult for them to be effective in their job. And in addition, the diplomat's sending country may take disciplinary action against them, such as demoting them or firing them. So in conclusion, while diplomats do enjoy a number of privileges and immunities, they are not above the law. They can still be held accountable for their actions, even if they cannot be prosecuted in the courts of the host country. And if you want to know something more right now, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.